Hey BFFs, it's Kay Miller, the so-called smokin' hot wife
Smokin'
with
hot
my
wife.
hubby, Steve Miller, my hunky hubby. We're coming to you from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Albuquerque, actually, we're coming from our hotel.
Yes.
Our hotel, which is our studio for this week. And actually, it's the last day of the year. I guess we could say the year, 2019.
Yeah, 2020 is on the
so
way.
if you're watching this in 2026, this is a while ago.
Yeah.
All right. But Happy New Year to everybody. And we had an interesting experience this week. Coming down to Albuquerque, and what we did was we actually flew into Phoenix, and we spent a night in Phoenix, and then jumped on a flight over here yesterday to spend time with our best friends, Kelly's godparents, and we're going to have a great time with them. But I want to step backwards just a little bit. A few years ago, we talked about our bank, Uncopyable Bank, that I started working with them, or they started to be our bank a few years ago, and I really liked them. I thought their marketing was great, and I really talked about how their marketing was so awesome, and I was really excited about becoming a customer of theirs. And unfortunately, it turns out that they called themselves the world's greatest bank. Now that's their branding proposition, is what it is, and they've said this now for a number of years. And I have to say that even though, as much as I love their marketing, once we became a customer of theirs, they're not the world's greatest bank, okay, but not by a long shot. But yet they keep calling themselves the world's greatest bank. And of course, we've talked about that because here's the problem. You want to tell them what the problem is?
The problem is the promise is too big and too vague. And as Steve we were talking about it before that we started filming, pretty arrogant. They're the world's greatest bank. Hard to live up to. In our opinion, they don't.
Yeah, and so and so often they would do something that would just kind of, I don't want to say.
Yeah, no profanity.
Okay, no
this
profanity.
Is family friendly.
Anyway, but the reason why we were reminded of Uncopyable was because we were flying, like I said, we flew into Phoenix. We spent the night in Phoenix. Now that meant we had to go into Sky Harbor Airport. Now, a couple of weeks ago, the Wall Street Journal published a survey or a study or something like that, where they announced and named Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport as the world's friendliest airport. Now we have since then, and of course on the way down, I had said something about this to Kay, and when we arrived in Sky Harbor, there were actually signs all over the place that said, "Welcome to the world's friendliest airport." Now, I thought, this must have come up from the Wall Street Journal study or something like that. But since then, we have researched this. It turns out, they've been calling themselves the world's friendliest airport for many years now. And in other studies that we have found, Googling, we have found that they, in fact, have been named the world's friendliest airport by multiple organizations. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the thing about this, is that, and let's look at the difference between Uncopable's so-called world's greatest bank and Phoenix's world's friendliest airport. Now, like Kay said, Uncopable was...
What, the world's greatest bank?
World's greatest, yeah, but what was wrong with that? You said it's vague.
Oh, yes.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
It's arrogant, and it's difficult to define.
Yeah, it's
right.
Really difficult.
Right. How do you define that? And in fact, in my opinion, all it does is set you up for failure. But world's friendliest airport. You see, they have. Phoenix has taken ownership of what they feel is something that they can deliver on.
Right.
And
it's
apparently
one particular thing, and they deliver on it. I mean, I couldn't believe it. We went through the airport. There were so many people, saying, "Hey, go this way," or can we help you with this? Do you need anything?
It didn't matter where we were.
It was crazy.
Whether we were in a store or in a restaurant or just walking down, or the gate agents or anything like that. Everybody was very, very friendly. And we noticed that.
It was impressive.
We noticed that. So you see, here's the thing about that. Okay, would we have even noticed that if they had not announced that they were the world's friendliest airport? And the answer is, I don't think so.
I don't know if we would.
I don't think we would have noticed that. If you have gone through Phoenix and you did not know that they were the world's friendliest airport, you might notice. Well, that person was very, but you might not notice that everybody was friendly.
But they call it out and they call your attention to it.
They put
this
themselves
one thing, this finite thing, and then they deliver. So your radar is up.
Yeah, and so they're putting out a promise that you now have an expectation, and as Kay said, your radar is up. You're paying attention now. Okay, and if somebody and you're thinking, oh, somebody's got to break this or something, right? And maybe they do occasionally. I mean, obviously that probably happens, but for the most part, what they have done now is they've gotten all the employees at Phoenix Sky Harbor to buy into this, obviously, and help deliver on this. So what is the point? The point is that when we talk about being uncopyable, we're saying make a promise that you can own. All right, that you can take and own for yourself and your company, and that you can actually deliver upon to your customers and prospects. So because once you take ownership of it and you make an announcement of it, like being the world's friendliest airport. See, it is not number one. It's not possible now for any other airport to say we are the friendliest airport in the world. No other airport can do it. And Phoenix also now has a preponderance of proof validated by the Wall Street Journal and these other organizations. ICMA.org had a study a couple of years ago and picked them as the world's friendliest airport, and there were others that I saw as well. So you see, they have taken ownership of something that they can in fact deliver on, and nobody else can copy.
And one thing I think is that, that I noticed, they've really created a culture, and the employees really seem to enjoy and have fun with this. So, for them to do this and say, okay, let's be really friendly, their employees know what that means. Whereas if Umpqua is saying, okay, be great, be the world's greatest bank, what does that mean? But when they tell their employees, let's have fun with this, let's be the friendliest darn, airport in the world, it's something that is really...
And you know what? And when people leave, like when we did, and when we got on the airplane to leave and we flew out, we both kind of said, that was the world's friendliest airport.
It really was.
They delivered on their promise. So so going into the new year, when you're thinking about being uncopyable, this is something that a lot of companies keep asking me. They say, we can't figure out how to be uncopyable. How do we deliver a product or something like that? And the thing is, pick one thing. And in fact, guess what, gang? We just gave you one.
Yeah, really.
We just gave you one that in your marketplace, in your industry, you could be the world's friendliest job shop. You could be the world's friendliest pet store. You could be the world's friendliest, auto dealership. Whatever. You could
auto repair.
The auto repair. You can make that announcement and then get your staff and your employees to buy into it.
And have fun
with it. They can work together on delivering this, and then you make that promise, and then you go out and deliver, and people go, yep, they're the friendliest.
Yep,
and that can make a huge difference.
I can't wait to fly through Sky Harbor again.
That's right, and we will in a couple more days. We'll be going back through that again. So anyway, so for those of you that are watching this, fairly close to the date that we're doing it. Happy New Year.
Happy 2020.
I hope 2020 becomes super prosperous for you. We'd love to help you and work with you, and watch for the new copy of Uncopyable. New copy of Uncopyable. Did I say that? And that's coming out in a couple of months. Paperback, added chapters, all sorts of stuff.
Case studies, all kinds of good stuff.
And then, as you know, Smokin' Hot Wife here is getting her things out there too. So anyway, the Steve Miller, better known as Kelly's dad and marketing gunslinger, and my Smokin' Hot Wife.
Okay, and always remember, be uncopyable.
See you.